Well, everybody, it looks like we got faked out. Everyone thought that the new big Ukraine Cinematic Universe movie was actually going to be Civil War, Wagner's March for Justice, starring Prigozhin. He was going to be a supervillain. It was going to be a James Bond reboot. It was going to be a remake of Spectre. It turns out, though, that that's not the case at all. And it was just a big nothing borscht. They released the movie. Nobody went to see it. Nobody cared. It got review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's over. It's not gonna. They're taking it out of theaters. Maybe it'll be like Doctor Morbius, where a bunch of trolls convince them to like. They'll go to Prigozhin. They'll go, no, no, we were on your side this whole time. You got to start this, whatever this was again. So the leaks that have come out that I've heard, and I think it explains everything, is for whatever reason, the executives running the UCU hired M. Night Shyamalan to direct Civil War Wagner's March for Justice. Now, one of the twists is that M. Night Shyamalan was actually the director this whole time, and in typical fashion, he really played this up. He'd given us a bunch of big movies. He gave us he made a good. It was kind of like his actual movie career. So we had like a good twist in the form of the whole Nord Stream thing, where they're trying to blame it on like the body double of someone who died, and then there's like six dudes, a woman, and a boat, and all this other insane stuff. So we got some good twists there. We got some other twists, but now M. Night Shyamalan's just dropped the ball with the sequel. They're like, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to make your traditional like Avengers movie, your traditional NATO movie. We're going to get M. Night Shyamalan to come in, and he's going to direct Civil War, Wagner's March for Justice. And as with basically everything he makes, it was a complete shit show. So what actually wound up happening? So Putin bat phoned Lukashenko, and Lukashenko came in and talked to Prigozhin, and then Prigozhin just like, okay, it's over. It's over. I'm just going to go into exile into Russia, into Belarus, and I'm going to stand down, and we've come to an agreement, and this whole thing was just a massive waste of everybody's time. It made the Russian government look completely incompetent and retarded. It degraded, like, the UCU was already pretty bad. It was like phoned in. It was this overproduced, overhyped movie that didn't deliver on any of what it promised. But this is a new low even for it. Why they thought hiring M. Night Shyamalan to direct a film, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. So let's read through this Russia Today article. Now, Russia Today obviously is propaganda, but I'm sure they know what the Kremlin statements are. So Prigozhin said, "I'm going to go to Belarus." Putin's spokesman said, "The people who took part in the uprising will not be prosecuted because they respect their exploits. The members of Wagner who did not take part in the uprising will be allowed to sign contracts and join the regular Russian Defense Ministry." For those of you who aren't aware, there's a slight difference in terminology. Signing a contract means enlisting in Russia, like just as a normal soldier. It's in America, we normally say enlisting or something like that, but that's basically what it means. So it looks like Wagner's going to be broken up. Everybody who didn't take part is just going to join the army. I don't know what's going to happen to the people who joined the uprising. They might just be demilitarized. Maybe some of them will be allowed to join the Russian army, but probably the best thing would just be to send them back to civilian life and resolve this. And I mean, it probably makes sense. The people who didn't take part in this, I mean, is it really worth it to ruin everybody's career who was tendentially involved in this just because the movie sucked? Like the crossover movie, the big crossover movie about Wagner and the Russian Civil War, it was a flop. But you have all these other people from other UCU films, and they're in this movie too. And is it really fair that their careers should be over and they won't be allowed to participate in future productions? I guess not. I mean, you have a bunch of experienced veteran troops. You might as well make good use of them. You recruit them into the Russian army and you distribute them throughout different corps, different groups, so that they can't get together and try to do something like this again. Although the people in question didn't do anything like that. Prigozhin also said that they're going to go back to the field camps. So, what wound up happening? I maintain, as all the evidence I've seen is that Prigozhin just threw a hissy fit over Wagner being broken up. Putin, Lukashenko, like I don't know if he just kissed his ass or threatened him or said something. They're like, you can go into exile in Belarusia. I don't know, but it's over. It's over as far as we can determine. I had held off for a while because this whole thing is so insane that there might be an after credit scene. There might still be an after credit scene that sets up the next movie in the Ukraine cinematic universe. Maybe like M. Night Shyamalan trolled us again. And after this movie, Prigozhin's going to come back, or we're going to have like the real villain behind the curtain. Like it's going to cut to some figure like in Dark who's doing like the elusive man thing in Mass Effect 2, and he's going to be like, Prigozhin, you have failed me for the last time. I will become the ruler of Russia yet. And it'll be like that, and then it'll just kind of fade out, and we'll move on to the next film. But yeah, this whole thing was just a nothing borscht. It was a borscht with no beets, no beef. It was just a bunch of like onions and potatoes and some lukewarm water. Not even worth eating, not even worth like spitting out if you were to eat it. So that's the whole thing. I'll see if anything else happens, but massive. I don't know. It's either a disappointment or it's better than anybody would have hoped. We'll see soon enough. I don't know what to say, but God bless everybody. God bless the UCU. We're gonna just keep going.